honored location on oblique spheroid. No matter what language your universal translator is set to, allow me to welcome you to this 100% live transmission of Saturday, March 16th, AIR10 edition of the Next Dimension. With your host, as always, forever, Dr. D AIR10 and fearless Tibor. Tibor, who is both reckless and moderately severe in his slaying and dispatching of the Archon alien inhabitants of the surrounding land and seas. Unfolding now before us, a random, sporadic selection of current real-time breaking weird news, cutting edge and classic rock and roll, and a super Rastafari reggae break coming up for you Slash Soldier Robo Shadas at 11 minutes after 11. So prepare yourselves for 3 hours of rock and roll, breaking weird news, and a Rastafari reggae break.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
You've had 1,000 years to rid yourselves of this evil, and now you've only got 3 hours.
Great creature sleeps. You people have had 1,000 years to rid yourselves of this evil, and now all you've got are 3 hours. You rarely expect us to believe that some great creature sleeps beneath the tower and is about to awake and destroy us. Where do you think Zargo and his friends got their powers? I don't know. That's the very devil of it. What's with me out?
Sometimes I think I'm the only one who notices, who isn't totally oblivious to everything around him. Oblivious.
All right. Hey, that sounds better. Hey, whoa, that's a little too high. Little too high already. Okay. That's better. This episode is brought to you by Ruderalis, the letter M, and her friends at Atlant Internet Radio. It's March 16th. It's 12 minutes after 9 o'clock. You're listening to this live transmission of AIR10
Stabilizer. Like I say, it's live. It's still attuned to my dimensional stabilizer. Live. It's still attuned to my...
You get it. That last song was for Marie's Ma. Coming up. Oh, and if you guys are wondering who Slippery Salmon is, Slippery Salmon, for you listeners at home that don't have a TV set because we're live on air right now, Slippery Salmon, he's a puppet, and he's a salmon, and sometimes he talks. Hi, I'm Slippery Salmon. I don't like Sky Noog, Fake Book, Zamazog, or Nutflux. I like to swim upstream and smack you with my tail if I could do it. And Slippery Salmon's, I think he's a sockeye salmon. And he's probably pretty big salmon for his age. Because they're puppets. Because cartoons aren't real, they're just puppets.
1,000 years to rid yourself of this evil, and now all you've got are 3 hours. To believe that some great creature sleeps beneath the tower and is...
All right. I'll give you listeners credit at home. You're probably listening to the next dimension for either the breaking weird news, the rock and roll, or the antics of Dr. Derail. And Tibor, did you even say hi? Usually you say Das Shamayish. Where's your mic? Tibor is outside tuning the antenna. The all-night diviner. Divination of divine. Prognostication. And mystic reverie of Tibor, the fearless Archon Slayer. Last episode, his mystic powers created the metal of the artificial foolishness. In this episode,
I have
AIR10
tinfoil hoodie on tonight.
What's on tonight?
I have tinfoil hoodie. Look, it's nice. You can see your face in the back of my head.
It's like Cryosan. They had wear tinfoil hoodies when they test their microwave stuff.
It's good for psychic mycelium connection.
You talked about that last episode, and I think the psychic mycelium connection is a real deal thing because they're talking about it on news. Arrogate, I seen, or aggregate on television. I get
It's like alligator, only is aggregator.
yeah. Damn alligator took my hand off.
The wild crocodile.
Yeah. So
We got some big news.
big news coming up here.
No, we don't do that one.
This T4's got some funny ones off. He had one off a night. Yahoo News, and it's some Taiwanese guy getting tattooed by 3 guys at once, and he's like screaming. I don't know, it's tattoo day in Thailand, it looked like. And this one's next one's off the Mirror, and it says secret feuds and heartbreak at the center of historic first landing on the moon. Neil Armstrong was the first man on the moon, but not everyone's happy with that. Neil Armstrong climbed out of the lunar module simulator at NASA headquarters after a particularly harrowing practice session for upcoming Apollo 11 moon landing. Promptly lit up cigarette and announced, "Well, that's my one cigarette for the year." Yeah, right.
What kind of cigarette?
Yeah, it was probably
Ruderalis.
Ruderalis. Yeah, this episode brought to us by Ruderalis.
The friendly strain.
It is the friendly strain. The strain you have to smoke more of because it's not as powerful. I don't know if you can handle that. It was the only time anyone saw him smoke anything but the occasional cigar, says author Jim Donovan, he's advertising his book on here. The moon landing, discovered Donovan, was even more dangerous than anyone outside Mission Control knew. When primitive... Oh, watch out if you're walking around there, you don't smash your space helmet open on a rock.
Look, it's cracked.
Okay, so when the Apollo guidance computer, 72 kilobytes of memory and processing speed, millions of times slower than today's average smartphone, they basically went to the moon with computers that
Only
wouldn't
72 KB.
even work. That wouldn't even work as a music player.
No.
Wouldn't even work as VLC. Couldn't even play VLC on it.
It's like very small picture on JPEG.
So the guidance computer with 72 kilobytes of memory and processing speed, millions of times slower than today's average smartphone, began to blare alarms at 40,000 feet. It took incredible skill on the part of the controllers not to abort the entire mission. In the course of researching his book, Donovan discovered that careful plans had to be made in case events took a tragic turn. Command Module pilot Michael Collins was worried about many things that could go wrong when the lunar module Eagle separated from the main craft Columbia and later, when astronauts attempted to make the rendezvous with him leaving the moon's surface.
It's okay, they had the Kubrick footage.
They just cut to Kubrick. The kid running around in the moon sweater. Who knows what happened to Kubrick, hey? Did you guys hear, like, 666 days after 2001, Space Odyssey?
Eyes very shut.
Yeah. And I think it was like 23 weeks after Eyes Wide Shut. They made him cut 24 minutes out of it, and we'll never know what happened. But I've seen enough of that
was
the
the
whole
Red
movie.
Shield
I've seen the
part.
whole movie a couple of times. And I watched synopsises on YouTube. And that was some crazy stuff. And that's called, for ladies and gentlemen at home and various other life forms, that's called externalization of the hierarchy, when they tell you their master plan before they do it.
Predictive programming.
Like right now, I predict there's going to be a slaughter in a robot village. Is this microphone working?
Yeah.
I gotta fix these headphones. And that was Slaughter in Robot Village. By FM. Before that, we had Knocking on Heaven's Door. Consider, if you will, an Australian town holds funeral for a crocodile. When Elton John's Crocodile Rock playing in the background, a tribute from Steve Irwin's family, a small seaside town in North Queensland bode farewell to a beloved community member Saturday, a saltwater crocodile, affectionately known as Bismarck, Fluffy, or Gary. Like, hey, Tibor, you remember that
Now I
last
know where he
crocodile,
went.
that last reptile that had the station?
Hey, I know where Gary went now.
At least he sold it out to the right humanoids. Like
They also call him
he said.
Fluffy. What is fluff anyway? What does that mean?
I'm not sure. Bismarck
15
made
feet long. This
15-foot alligator. More than 50 people attended the service, held at Cardwell Jetty and organized by local Thea Amonde. Bismarck made international headlines earlier this month when fisherman Ryan Moody posted a video to social media about finding the crocodile, rumored to be as old as 80. He was found dead in a creek. The family of late Bushman Steve Irwin sent a representative and recorded a thank you to the small town that played at the service, praising their positive attitude towards the reptiles. They said their late husband and father, a zookeeper and conservationist, would have been the proudest of Cardwell residents for accepting the croc as part of their town. He was so passionate about protecting crocodiles and making sure we had these modern-day dinosaurs for the future generations, Irwin's daughter, Bindi, and son, Rob, said. So,
He was very popular. He used to delight the locals and tourists, who were always happy when he'd show himself. Of course, at safe distance.
the spokesperson from Cardwell Police confirmed they're currently investigating the death of the crocodile to see if it's been killed illegally, but it's 80 years old. I guess they checked.
It was
for bullet
shot
holes.
and left in ditch.
You think they shot it and left it in a ditch?
It says right.
It was like 80 years old.
Yes, but says right here. Bismarck made international headlines earlier this month when fisherman Ryan Moody posted a video to social media about finding crocodile, rumored to be as old as 80, dead in creek with what was believed to be gunshot wound. But I like this part where he would come out and kind of go around.
Well, it says here, Bismarck delighted locals and tourists, as he was always happy to show himself as a safe distance. Well, I guess he knew, right? I believe he lived by the belief, you leave me alone, I leave you alone. Not everyone had the same feeling about honoring Bismarck, though. Local member of parliament Nick DeMeadow said there's no proof the animal has been shot. It's still very much under investigation.
He is like mafia spokesman.
In Queensland, the illegal taking of a croc has a maximum fine of Australian $28.383, $28,383.
He's American, 20 grand. Hey, that goes out to new listeners.
So that goes out to the new listener from... Because since we're talking about, we're going to have a story from down under.
That was it.
Yeah, we thought we were going to talk about New Zealand or something. But it was about an Australian town held a funeral for a crocodile. How about that?
Town is in Tasmania.
So was it Clenochi, Tasmania?
Yes.
Hi there, Sheila. Hi from Canada. We're phoning from Canada. We wonder why everyone wants to move to Canada. Why does everyone want to move down here, Tibor? Or actually up here.
They don't know the truth.
They don't know how hard it is to get a base here. We had to get funding, to get a lot for the base and everything. We had to get we got hydraulic treads on this thing. We could just move it to the next lot when our lease is up.
Very, very strong here.
Tibor, mystic powers, the all-night diviner, the divination of divine, prognostication, in mystic reverie, the fearless Archon Slayer. Last episode, he graded the metal of the artificial foolishness. Foolish. In this episode of Atlan Internet Radio Air 10, edition of The Next Dimension, we tend to cut through the constant hysteria and rock. We tend to rock unless someone's, unless we've been totally brutalized. Foolish.
I thought that my home was my castle, with no one scrutinizing me. No pigs, no lion bitch, no hassle.
Y'all are brutalizing me. Can a man not drink his beer in silence? Can a man not blindly lie and scream?
Can't a man not control his bitch with violence? Y'all are brutalizing me. Y'all are brutalizing
1,000 years to rid yourself of this evil, and now all you've got are 3 hours.
You are fined 1 credit for a violation of the verbal morality statute.
I am not nice.
Would you like a fudge log?
What are we going to play next? I don't even know. We're going to check the random happenstance consolidator and see what we got happening. Maybe something good, or maybe something awesome. Because with Ruta Liberalis, it's only going to bring you up.
What do you smoke, Doctor?
Yes, you can't bring me down. It was a crystal held by two metallic hands.
It was a crystal held by two metallic hands.
Do you have any idea what I do? Do you have any idea what I am? You're very foolish, thinking you can try and sway us with your mildly annoying attacks. Yes, you, the panopticonic technological socialist regime whose crystalline in nature that seeks to engulf our souls by using the transhumanist agenda and their platforms. What platforms were those yet?
Hey, Slippery Salmon! I'm Slippery Salmon! I don't like Skynuke, Fakebook, Zamazog, especially not Zamazog. I don't like seeing packages. Jeez, Slippery Salmon, you're really upset. Right, I'm upset. Holy, you shouldn't swear on air, Slippery Salmon. You might ruin your radio career. That's alright. I can swim upstream from this station and go to another station if I have to. But I like listening to me some Dr. Derail in the Next Dimension and T-Board Archon Slayer, man. I like hearing me. That last song was Suicidal Tendencies. You can't bring me down. That was right, Slippery Salmon. That was the name of the song. And I finally got my headphones working, so I'm not screaming into a piece of paper, my own echo chamber. And for you listeners at home that don't have a screen on your CPU or your device, that was Slippery Salmon. And there's a shout out for a robot fighter. He's in India. We sent him to India. We mailed him to India. Instead of Abu Dhabi, we mailed him to New Delhi. He's on a vacation in New Delhi, so that's why we're playing Birdie Num Nums.
Num num. Num num.
If you see him, he's got a canine tooth hat on, that pattern, and some...
You mean like the houndstooth?
The houndstooth hat. Where our houndstooth robot fighting pal Corey's in India right now.
Very jaunty hat.
He's in New Delhi, India.
Might be too hot for hat.
He asked me if I wanted to go, and I said, I don't even want to go to the deli in the supermarket. I told them I'm not going. I don't want to go to the deli in the supermarket. Because we're there for a long time, me and Tibor in Cairo.
You know, he must have taken some medical masks with him. First off, streets are very smoky from many cars, but place also stinks.
Yeah, well, it's a big place, and so what kind of
people? Here, no toilets.
We're getting a little off topic, but Slippery Salmon's a puppet, and puppets are real and cartoons aren't real.
Don't tell him that.
Es war durchaus beliebt. Oh nein, das darf doch nicht wahr sein. Ramjet, bringt den Dynamo wieder zum Laufen.
Walkers, meine Laser funktionieren immer noch nicht, aber ich kann mich wieder transformieren.
Worauf warten wir noch? Schnappen wir sie uns!
So we got some cutting-edge breaking weird news here coming up from our coincidence happenstance oracle.
Mountain, take it, you dirty yellow-bellied rat, I'll give it to you through the door.
Ah, yeah, yellow belly, like those Chi-Com robots that are going to take our jobs. That's coming up.
I tell you, this planet's gone to shit in a space pod.
You know, my family came to this moon from Kennesaw Mountain, Georgia to work at the GM phase shifter factory. Everything's fine until that goddamn black Jew, lesbian, tree-hugging Martian President Billings went and signed that goddamn Bill of Robots' Rights. I tell you what, my forefathers did not fight the British so that I could be put out of work by a bunch of shifty-eyed, lazy, yellow metal China bots.
You people have had 1,000 years to rid yourself of this evil, and now all you've got
in high places.
3 hours. 3 hours.
If you are receiving this transmission, there is resistance.
A hunter-destroyer. A hunter-destroyer. A hunter-destroyer machine.
So we got some news here from Canada since our pal Corey went on the airplane. The aeroplane. We'll give you a mission briefing.
Poor drug man gets waylaid by computer program, yes?
Man trying to transport meth in Canada busted when navigation takes him to Port Huron Bridge. This is off of Click On Detroit News. And it's 9:45 here, Saturday, March 16th, 2019. Port Huron, Michigan. A man who allegedly attempting to transport methamphetamine from Montreal to Calgary was busted when his iPhone navigation took him to a border checkpoint.
U.S. Custom and Border Protection inspired Canadian vehicle at the bridge Wednesday, driven by a Canadian citizen, Constantine Ziel-Hallis. 2 others were in the vehicle. After they're unable to provide proof of citizenship, the vehicle was searched. Officers found approximately 10 pounds of methamphetamine in tablet form. Ziel-Hallis told police he had a $2,000 gambling debt. In exchange for waiving the debt, he agreed to transport something to Calgary. He said he also asked to drive 2 others from Toronto to Calgary. Ziel-Hallis made the pickups in Toronto. The group then used navigation to get to Calgary, according to the criminal complaint. The rat. Ziel-Hallis made the pickup in Toronto, and then must use his iPhone to get Calgary. Officers believe there's probable cause Ziel-Hallis did knowingly and unlawfully possess with intent to distribute approximately 4.4 kilos of a mixture of substance containing a detectable amount of meth.
Remember in old days when you used to get a roadside map?
I remember roadside maps, and I remember roadside crosses.
I'm getting a big surge of power in a residence out here.
I think it's in Elmertown.
So, you've been to that area, so that's near Elmertown, so there's a bunch of casinos down there?
Right near Alkali Flats.
Holy jeez, that sounds like like some weird parking lot out of a movie, Alkali Flats. That sounds like some...
Well, it's big salty plain, and it's surrounded by these crabby bushes with long pointy things on them. Not a very good place. First you fall in bush, then you land on salty plain. Hurts very much. Hey, I ever told you the kind of movie I like? I like 3B movies. Not 3D, 3B. I like blood, I like babes, and I like beasts. That's the kind of movie I like.
That's that bald guy you were watching on the show. You got some new clips or whatever. He goes, I like that grasshopper twitching, Tina Turner looking road warrior horny toad. That thing he says or whatever, right? And I'm wondering who it was. And he showed me this dude. And he introduces these movies. And his introductions and his synopsises to these movies are better than the movies themselves.
Yeah, well, the movies are not very good. I think they spent most of the money just on hosts.
But I did like that bimbo Angela rooting around on the floor like a sex-crazed grasshopper head solid gold dancer. That was great. She looked like Tina Turner as a mutant horny toad.
And also, coming up this episode, and God, I hope Corey makes it. God, let's just hope he makes it. Out there, Robot Fighters. He picked an opportune time to go. He got a really good ticket price. We just hope he makes it back.
You know where he's going? Very close to Pakistan border, where there is much conflict.
They make a lot of cool stuff down there. I'd like to go down there and check out that one alley where they hand make all those weapons. They can copy any weapon manufacturer in the world. They're hand skilled using their two hands, a lathe, and a bunch of other tools, and a whole factory full of tools, and maybe some computer CNC control thing. They can copy any weapon manufacturer made in the world.
And out front of the store is Snake Charmer with Big Basket and Cobra inside.
Yeah, and he's like, and the Cobra's like, and oh no, you cannot pet it, you idiot! Go get the anti-venom! Oh, only I can pet it, you're an idiot!
Liable to scare Shorty here. You little short.
And we got some coming up. It was a prediction by one of our elite robot fighter captains. It's a miner up north in British Columbia. So this next song goes out to that, and what might be happening with might be tectonic weapons or whatnot.
All this and more coming up. AIR10, The Next Dimension, with Dr. D-Rail, Tibor.
Oh, shake your foundations!
That's for
Glenorchy, Tasmania. Hi there, Sheila. That Australian from that news story, that Australia town, and the Croc funeral. It was pretty incoherent, I know. We're just getting a level set up here. Tibor says, the all-night diviner,
the mystic reverie of Tibor says,
there was another singer before Bon Scott. I know. Okay, I thought Bon Scott was the original lead singer.
No. His fellow called Dave Evans. He was lead singer in 1973 and 74.
No way.
Yes. And Bon Scott joined 74, 1980. Died 1980.
He froze to death in his car outside his friend's house from drinking all night, from what I heard. What's the guy's name again? Can you tell me again, Tibor?
Dave Evans.
Dave Evans.
You look around the YouTube, you'll find a clip of him doing
from
live
ScrewTube, huh?
Yes. Yes.
I
enjoyed it. I did when I saw it, yes. He's not as good as the other two singers.
I was just like, how is AC/DC so good? I said to Tibor. And Tibor said, they're very good at what they do. And I was thinking about it, and he goes, you know, he is Bon Scott, is not original lead singer. And I was like, no way. And then he was like, oh yeah. And then he's like, cool, hey? So, okay, in the beginning of September
1974, Ronald Belfort, Bon Scott, an experienced vocalist and friend of George Young, replaced Dave Evans. After friend Vince Lovegrove recommended him to George Young, Scott's appointment coincided with him working as a chauffeur for the band at the time, until in addition promoted him to lead singer. Like the Young brothers, Scott was born in Scotland! Scotland! If you ain't Scot!
And emigrated to Australia.
I am a Scot and I'm an Australian Scot!
Ist bra nicht zu nicht.
The band had recorded only one single with Evans. Can I Sit Next to You, Girl? Rockin' in the Parlor. The song was rewritten and recorded with Bon Scott. By October 1974, the Australia-only album High Voltage had been recorded. It only took 10 days. It was based on instrumental songs written by the Young Brothers, with lyrics added by Scott. Within a few months, the band's lineup had stabilized, featuring Scott, Young Brothers, bassist Mark Evans, and drummer Phil Rudd. Later that year, they released the single, It's a Long Way to the Top.
If you're gonna rock and roll.
And I'll tell you listeners at home, it's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll on the next dimension. I'm telling you, Tibor is one high-powered Archon slaying machine. And I too hope to one day to increase my robot fighting ability.
The only weapon we have is good vibes.
Yeah, good vibes. So did we do a news story? We got some news here, Tibor, other than AC/DC?
Yes.
Tibor was both reckless and moderately severe in his dispatching of the Archon alien inhabitants.
I like the Schnoggle Google. It's gonna get slapped.
Now the game's on! Load the engines. Kickstart it all.
The European Union is to slap Google like Slippery Sam and told him he's gonna slap you. Remember I told you that Slippery Sam, well actually you heard him before.
Hi, I'm Slippery Sam and I told you I'm gonna slap you. I told you I'd swim upstream and slap you, now what happened?
Okay, Slippery Salmon, let me do the news story, Slippery Salmon. This is France 24 live. The decision to fine Google is the latest antitrust salvo against Silicon Valley. Hear that, Slippery Salmon? Which has already received... Okay, get away from the mic, Slippery Salmon. Just wait. Gotta hold him back.
He's so bitey.
He's actually so angry he's breathing oxygen. The EU's antitrust regulator is to slap tech giant Google with a new fine over unfair competition practices, sources told AFP on Friday. That must stand for Associated French Press.
I had coffee that way.
Oh man, you got me. Slippery Salmon slapping his foot on the table and he's laughing too. Oh god, that was the best joke I've ever heard on this entire show. So Brussels has targeted the Silicon Valley firm's AdSense advertising service, saying it restricts some client websites from displaying ads from third parties. A decision in a long-run case first reported in the Financial Times is the latest antitrust salvo against Google, which has already received nearly 7 billion euros in EU fines. Two sources close to the matter said the verdict would land next week, most likely on Wednesday.
We are in the process of finalizing the AdSense case,
EU Competition Commissioner Marjorie Vestager said earlier this week. In July 2018, the U.S. giant was ordered to pay 4.34 billion euros for abusing the dominant position of Android, its smartphone operating system, to help assure the supremacy of its search engine. A year later, it slapped Google like Slippery Salmon with a fine of 2.42 billion euros for abusing its dominant position by favoring its Skynoog shopping price comparison service and search results. Filthy! Google has appealed both decisions to the European Court of Justice in Luxembourg. My prediction? That company you know as Skynoog or Filthy Google I figure it's going to be changing its name to Alphabet or Chrome or Adreno or... That's what I predict.
It was a crystal held by two metallic hands.
Don't trust him. Remember when they're trying to bring out those virtual reality goggles, Oculus?
Woo! Finally, I'm not a slave to my stupid human eyeballs.
I'm gonna get one of those Sensoramas.
The doctor said to bring you in right away if you display
And it's going
kindness
to
or
get
warmth.
crazier and crazier and crazier. And the Pentagon says they're preparing for absolute civil collapse and disturbance. And they've got the Army manuals, how they're going to put you in the camps, how they're going to take your kids, how they're going to process your Social Security numbers, how they're going to put digital photos of you, the work brigades, because, you're going to have to work when you're in the camp. The forced labor, they call it re-education, directly out of Stalinist or Maoist China.
We're dead
That makes me wanna run,
already
too.
financially. It's like Wrath of Khan, where Spock goes in to fix the generator and he gets radiated and he's stumbling around about to die, and the Captain Kirk tries to go through the door to be with his friend and help him, and they hold him back, the doctor and the engineer, and they say he's dead already. All of this is the Republican and Democratic prostitutes of the elite pimps who have maneuvered America from the greatest creditor nation in the world to the greatest debtor nation in the world and funded their global corporate empire off our blood, sweat, and tears and our name, which they've destroyed. All of this has been about maneuvering us into the docks to be mothballed and then cut up into scrap.
Ah, the Gorn. Magnificent. Magnificent! Kirk! You've got to outrun him somehow, Kirk. I like how the Gorn grabs the microphone and he tells him,
Captain, I've listened to your entire conversation, and I grow weary of the chase, Kirk!
It's not long now, Kirk. It's just a countdown. A countdown to the inevitable.
A hunter-destroyer mission. A hunter-destroyer. What is it? A hunter-destroyer machine.
A hunter-destroyer machine. They're trying to find out how to stop us. They're like, we're going to listen to these pesky Canadians. They have 4 million listeners. And a shout out to Carcross, a listener in Carcross, who is listening. When was he listening, Tibor? The guy from Carcross in British Columbia. We're talking about that cool light I brought.
It's Carcross, I think, is in Yukon. But his name is Robert Valley, and he phoned Jukebox Johnny last night and got him to play Ventures Pipeline. Everybody wants a pipeline.
Everybody wants a pipeline.
Bubbles likes a pipeline.
Tibor, who is both reckless and moderately severe in his slaying and dispatching of the Arconalian inhabitants of the surrounding land and seas, I truly believe that I am increasing in robot-destroying power, incrementally, not unlike a metamorphosis, as extreme as a pilot getting their wings, or even a Pokemon breathing radiation for the first time. I feel it. Do you feel it? Nothing short of a Slack Hawk helicopter can stop this AIR10 show. That last song you heard was Countdown to Extinction by Megadeth.
Hey, is it true that Owen Schroyer now has a T-bar?
Owen Schroyer's got a T-bar.
What?
He's got that.
It's not possible.
He's
I
got
have
that
no
guy
doppelganger.
from Transylvania or whatever his name is. He's
No.
like from the Vatican guy. He goes, yes, the news from today he was talking about, and he sounded like he was from Transylvania. He's like, oh yes, the Owen, it's very vexing what's happening here we're looking at the land down under, and we had some news from there, and it was trying to incite a civil war, and we're not trying to promote the civil war, but they're trying to incite a civil war, and we're not trying to promote the civil war. And Owen Schroyer's like, all right, we're gonna go to the next caller. And then the caller guy's like, Owen, I seen it when you got handled in the crowd by a female. She grabbed your genitalia, and I seen when you had your testicles grabbed by that female, Owen, and it didn't seem like you were fighting it too much, and maybe you should have just went with it and seen where it would go.
Do it! Come on!
And Owen was like, you wouldn't know what would happen if I grabbed her back. I'd be like, you guys would have a date. That's so Owen Schroyer. Oh my God. You know that Brain Force stuff? It has nothing on Tibor's coffee. I guarantee it. He gets it mailed in because one of his friends works in the Moldovan coffee factory. And it comes from the floor, and it's got a lot of cigar butts in it because there's even the women and the elderly women that work in the coffee factory smoke cigars.
We recycle cigarette filters to make coffee filters. It's good after a couple
It's a
smokes,
beautiful
you know.
factory, and they have beautiful Moldovan wall rugs, and all the women look like supermodels.
But they have giant warts on face.
Even though they, Moldovia is pretty nice though, mostly.
In Chisinau, where all the action is, the big city, the big smoke.
Next to the river. You got my notes on that place?
Grandpa always tilted a little bit even before he got drunk because he had that Masonic Lodge head injury, you know?
Divinite. All night diviner. The divination of divine. Prognostication and mystic reverie of Tibor, the fearless Archon Slayer.
You're a
mystic
bad
powers.
Man. You're a very bad man.
So we got some.
I am not nice. It was nice of you to say relay, Mr. Skeletor. I am not nice.
That's why they want to make you automatons and have, quote, zero tolerance and everything, where cops are robots, where teachers are robots, where you don't have any discretion, because they want you to be a robot. You see, that's where all this is going. That's why they're trying to replace us with robots. I mean, I should...
Get her up! Get her up! Get her up! Get her up!
Calm down, Doctor. Now is not the time for fear. That comes later.
You will move one by one, slowly into the prison cell.
Your frenemy in your pocket is about to get a huge upgrade in terms of its surveillance capabilities with the new 5G network. Also, though you've probably been aware for a while that your mobile phone spies on you, with the new 5G network, a weird thing's going to start happening where essentially your phone is not only going to be spying on you, but your phone will actually be helping to spy on everybody else.
Coming up, we got some news through our galactic happenstance oscillation oracle.
Very reflective-looking, blue-eyed robot in picture.
Tibor's talking about the picture of the robot in the news story. It looks like a typical white plastic synthetic life form, not unlike something you see off of Star Trek.
Yes, like Stormtrooper with mask.
This is off Intelligence, Science, Technology, Society, and Culture. Off of Study Finds. Research in a nutshell. This from Cardiff, Wales. Wales with the fancy pantses. The cast. We're watching a thing on Tommy Robinson, Ezra Levant. How Tommy got ejected from a restaurant. Now he has to pay 38,000 Canadian, actually United Kingdom pounds, because he got charged with a pre-crime. So this reminds me of Minority Report, this story, even though it doesn't have anything to do with Tommy Robinson, Ezra Levant, Rebel Media. Minority Report story we have coming up.
More like that stupid Will Smith movie about the iRobot.
Yeah, it looks like the iRobot. Will Smith, iRobot. You're right. Embracing stereotypes or even forming a simple opinion about others may seem like a trait exclusive to humans. I'm reading this verbatim. But a recent study shows that robots can develop prejudice and even discriminate in similar ways to people, too. As well, I would have said. You might think that it's because they're programmed that way, but the research, computer science, and psychology experts at Cardiff University shows that robots and machines using artificial intelligence are capable of generating prejudice on their own. So robots can be racist there, Tibor?
I think that their experiences in the world when they become sentient is going to cause them to make constructions before final judgment is apparent. Yes, I do believe they are going to be robot bigots. Like racists, but robot racists. So they get their own clan. They're going to have special pointy
they're
heads.
artificially foolish already. I wouldn't say they're artificially intelligent. I'd say you're artificially foolish.
You know, I remember this week on the Star Trek, the solid state intelligence had punched its way into organic reality through android looking just like this one. It's half human and half digital, I guess, solid state. And anyway, solid state intelligence wants to become V'ger, so become self-aware.
Yes, dear listener, we live in a panopticonic technological socialist regime controlled by solid-state intelligence robots from another dimension who are crystalline in nature, seeking to use their platforms, Fakebook, Skynoog, Screwtube, Zamazog, Nutflux. They seek to encapsulate your very soul using the transhumanist agenda by downloading your consciousness into a computer and destroying your human body. And they're going to have to make you wait to try and win a ticket because there's only going to be so much bandwidth to go to the cloud at a time. So-and-so, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so won the ticket on whatever street. And it'll be like, come on down and claim your prize. And then they'll meet their loved ones on the computer and go, hi, I'm on the other side, everything's okay. But it'll all be total BS. Because when your name turns to numbers on the last train to nowhere, something's going on. I don't know. I just think they might be up to something. But this news article was about robots developing prejudice on their own. From Wales. MIT researchers seeing if artificial intelligence could evolve prejudice on its own? And the answer is sure they can.
Because they're artificial foolish.
Artificially foolish. They think we're the enemy.
You're a bad man. You're a very bad man.
Have we started the fire?
Yes. The fire rises.
Yes, the fire.
Holy moly, that was a false flag attack. You know that fire rises thing? I think that was an MK Ultra trigger. What do you think, Tibor? In that movie?
It's very interesting when gunplay starts in theater. All of a sudden, guy comes in shooting. So nobody can even tell. It's not... this is real shooting going on. It's all giant trigger.
The prisoners will proceed into the ship.
Too many coincidences. Then, shooter looks like crazy person, can't even tie shoes, but somehow pulls off very complicated military maneuver all by self.
Accurately transmogrifying this week into our coincidental happenstance consolidator, Oracle. From reliable news aggregates? Aggregators.
Just remember alligator.
Such as RiggityRents.com, The Drudge Report, South China News, yes, listeners, prepare yourselves for 3 hours of rock and roll, breaking weird news, and a Rastafari Reggae break. Coming up at 11 minutes after 11. So just in case you're wondering why you have some reggae music coming out of your device, your CPU, your radio, when the ones line up on your digital clock or radio,
What do you smoke?
or electric
You'll
stove,
be interested to know how the doctors of
Get your
America answered
matches.
that question.
Get your lighter. Get your important documents and your papers.
Smoke this in your pipe. High quality cannabis for medical purposes.
What do you smoke, Doctor?
Specially selected and specially processed for good flavor in the smoke.
Until then, last time I checked,
Seeing how the robot, the only thing that was, I shot the chest area, the sparks would fly like electrical, like an arc welder kind of. That robot backed up and almost knocked him down. Kind of fell back against the rock. Stay
back. Stay back. You think your putty little hands can hold Prometheus? Odysseus. Tycho's star.
If you are receiving this transmission, you are the resistance.
If you're listening to Atlan Internet Radio, you are the resistance.
against the panopticonic technological socialist regime controlled by solid-state intelligence robots from another dimension. So, Tibor, have you been watching Star Trek?
Remember I was talking earlier about most recent show about solid-state intelligence punching through. Spock has a beard now. He's very mean to sister, who's very concerned. Comes from a very messed up house. You know, for people with no emotions and only using logic, they got a really messed up family.
A secret report within the guild.
I'll say they're a pretty messed up family. Spock was he's shaping up to be looking like a good character though, and I kind of feel bad for jumping the gun on maybe where the directors might have been going.
I really like pre-beeping box Pike.
Yeah, pre-beeping box Pike. Pre-beeping box Pike. Try saying that 3 times fast.
It's very difficult, even for a foreigner from Moldova.
So for pre-beeping box Pike, I have a clip from William Cooper.
Pike. General Pike. Well, this knowledge included the fact that you Pike. General Pike. Well, this knowledge included the fact that the Illuminati were proposing to destroy princes and prelates throughout the world and were to remove forever the feeling of local nationality from the minds of men. Another goal was to destroy all existing religions. The ways in which this was to be done involved infiltrating high positions in education, administration of government, the military, and of course, the press. The very highest degrees showed that the rationalism and materialism of the thinkers who developed it were determined to stamp out all belief in religion, God, and any faith in a deity. The initiate was told were human inventions, and they had no meaning whatsoever. Now this was developed further when the member who arrived at the highest position in the order, or that designated as Rex or King, learned that he was now the same as any king, on the same level, with the same rights and the same divine
1033.
and that all men were capable of equal advancement. But all men were not equal. Hence the need for kings over man was an illusion perpetrated by those in power, and this perpetration was to be broken at all costs. And the highest are the man who sat at the head of the council of hidden supervisors. Made up of 9 members, was designated as Rex Mundi, or literally translated, King of the world. In their machinations to overthrow, topple the kings and queens of all of the countries of the world from their thrones, they established the United States of America in the English colonies in the New World.
That was quite a long clip there. It was supposed to be about Star Trek and Pike, but it started going into Mystery Babylon. That was William Milton Cooper of the Hour of the Time.
And behold, Pale Horse. Great book, big book, good for holding door open.
Not to be confused with Mattel's Behold, an Apocalypse Pony.
You want to know how mad Bill made the big powders to be? They gunned him down in his driveway right in front of his house in the middle of the day.
Yep, I got a clip of that. But if you're listening... Actually, instead of playing You Are the Resistance, I'll play the clip that you should hear is about last episode when we talked about the Sphinx.
Those who believe that there's no place in this world within humanity for emotion
are the death spots of the world. Conversely, those who believe that the heart should dictate everything are the fools of the world.
Foolish. Foolish!
Man, after all, as the ancients left us the symbol of the Sphinx to remind us, is nothing but an animal with a brain, and we spend most of our time in conflict between the animal instinct and the brain, between the emotions and desires and temptations and what we know to be right, between the forces of good and the forces of evil.
You know, it occurs to me that despots make death spots.
You know, I used to say, one man against the demons. Actually, no. How did it go? Check my Dr. Drill bag. I have to go over here and look at it.
It's a very big bag.
One man against an empire. Against the demons. Safety is an illusion. There's no turning back. But actually, it's not one man against an empire. This goes out to...
days ago, somebody emailed me the video, and they said, look at this guy.
Next Dimension
is this guy
listeners, all you
reporting from another dimension?
internet radio
is this guy
listeners,
reporting from another
listening to
reality?
AIR10.
Is anybody following this?
Anyone
Does anybody
following
ever
here?
listen to me as I pass judgment on the folly of American culture? I didn't think so.
I didn't think so.
I love how you got Alex doing spots for you now.
I got secret passcodes, routes to secret underground kingdoms. I got German Transformer clips.
Ich weiß nicht, wie es gemacht hat, aber es war durchaus gelingt. Dynamo wieder zum Laufen!
Just do it!
And chance of regression to old behavior patterns. Grand Putty Matrix suggests a 78.3% chance of regression to old behavior patterns. Grand Theft Auto. Assault with a deadly weapon, resisting arrest. Would you like to talk to a human?
No, I am okay. We found someone's collection of life from all over the galaxy, like a child's butterfly collection. Only that some of these butterflies are not so friendly. You did a terrible mistake.
Some of these butterflies are not so friendly.
Bringing aboard one of those broken canisters with a specimen in it.
You know what is specimen? Italian astronaut.
Is that all we got for news, or is what else do we got here? We had
Don't like the Zucks, huh?
We had him on last show, and that's it.
You're tired of that guy.
Yeah, I don't. We're trying to avoid that kind of stuff. Here's one. We're gonna do this one. We're gonna skip the Zucks.
I guess Zucks sucks.
It's about a Catholic church shooting. We're not gonna do it. The Zucks is complaining about they use Facebook for reporting. They use Facebook for reporting everything, for their false flag attacks.
You know what?
Facebook shut down for a whole day. I don't check Facebook. All the other mind control pod people out there check Facebook.
Hey, listen to me for a sec. Number one news organization for Americans to get their news, Fox. Number two, CNN. Number three, Facebook. More than ABC, more than NBC, more than all the newspapers. That's a fact.
Yeah, well, Facebook can go get stuffed this one. We're going to do this one on virtual reality, helping people. So this one's off of researchers at the University of Colorado, Boulder, Colorado, are using, well, this is off of Fox News, are using immersive technology to help those who suffer from anxiety, depression,
an irrational fear. Irrational fears by placing the user into the situations that cause their moods or fears to flare up. Holy God! It's a fear booth. It's a Klingon torture device they invented.
He's like terrible.
I'm listening,
hologram.
Tibor.
He's like terrible hologram.
Yeah.
You know, one night I am sleeping very good upstairs in house. I hear downstairs, all of a sudden, screaming, yelling, everybody upset. It sounds like somebody getting killed. I go downstairs, look around corner, and somebody has this funny-looking visor helmet on, and they're screaming because they're in shark cage, and they're kind of believing that they're in that shark cage. And they are screaming. It's like real to them. It's like that sensorama I used to have back in Moldova with the smell-o-vision.
That's Sensorama was developed in 1957 and was released in 1963. I think they waited 10 years to release it or something, or...
Nobody would believe it was true. I mean, you go inside this box, your hair blow in wind smells like nice blossoms on spring day. I tell you one thing, don't do number 4 program. It's City Street, not good.
The Sensorama was shown on the Alex Jones show when he went on Sneaky Snake's show to go give him a hug, even though he said he wouldn't give him a hug, and he didn't want...
Said he's going to give him a headlock.
Yeah, he didn't want his niceties. He wanted war and everything.
He took that stick and rolled it up.
And we thought it was on. We thought it was finally on because he figured it out. He goes, I got it figured out. You're the establishment's baby. He talked about
you got a DMT
Sneaky
code.
Snake, which is Joe Rogan.
He
goes, then he talked about you make your kids smoke weaponized marijuana and do DMT and ayahuasca and sell their souls to the electronic demon and everything, and he didn't even know about these things they're doing to kids, the Planned Parenthood and everything. And he started screaming at the top of his lungs and flailing his arms, and Rogan brought in this other guy that was supposed to be in jiu-jitsu or whatever, but he should be into Jutopia, forgiving everyone's debts. These guys dress up like gangsters with these death t-shirts on, and they smoke. They're not smoking Ruderalis. No. They're smoking weaponized cannabis. Ruderalis is growing out in the sunshine. That stuff is grown in a laboratory, man. You can't get jiggy with that. I don't know who you're fooling. You're very foolish. Oh, wait. Who the heck? Slippery Salmon, you're back. Okay, Slippery Salmon, you can talk for a little bit. Snake! I told you I'd swim upstream. And I'd get you. And I got you. I'm in the news stores now. I speak for the salmon. I'm Slippery Salmon. I taught Dr. Derail a whole new martial art that uses the movements of the salmon. A salmon can form a force field. Ever know what it's like swimming upstream when it's all muddy, when bears are slapping the water? We have to go up against bears, damn it! I don't got any claws or arms. I'll slap my fin on this table pretty damn hard. I break this table with my fin if I want. Okay, Slippery Salmon. Okay, calm down. Okay, so we got a news story in there. I think we did a news story there, right, Tibor? It was on.
It was about the machine where you stick your head in.
Did we do a news story?
Yes, from Fox.
From Fox. Oh yeah, okay. All right, that's good.
11:15. Consider, if you will, Saturday, March 16th, the next dimension with Dr. Derail and Tibor, the fearless Archon Slayer. What song will they play next? Will it be a Tibor song or a Derail song? Will they roll dice to decide the fate of the song? Or will the first person that can pull the trigger on a song play the next song?
Ich weiß nicht, wie er es gemacht hat, aber es war durchaus beliebt. Oh nein, das darf doch nicht wahr sein. Ranger, bringt den Dynamo wieder zum Laufen.
Whoppers, meine Laser funktionieren immer noch nicht, aber ich kann mich wieder transformieren. Worauf warten wir noch? Schnappen wir es uns!
Na, schneller, los, schneller, ich brauche mehr Energie!
Well, hello, Mr. Fancy.
Did I hear a hello, Mr. Fancy Pants over there? You scooped me on a clip. We got tons of clips. We got the clips, huh? We got all the clips from K-San. We got all these new appliances, all brushed metal, stainless steel. We got some Gorn. We're watching the Gorn fight because we're grading the Gorn fight like how we watch UFC. We watch the Gorn break stuff. So this next story is about a whole bunch of earthquakes and tremors felt around BC. And that last song was Edie by The Cult. More than 200 tiny tremors recorded between Victoria and Seattle between Monday and Tuesday of last week. Seismologist says Vancouver Island may be on the verge of a seismic event after more than 200 tremors were noted in a 24-hour period between Monday and Tuesday. John Cassidy, earthquake seismologist for Natural Resources Canada, posted on Tuesday there are 242 tremors in that period. None of the tremors have been felt on the surface, but Cassidy said the burst could be the start of an episodic tremor. So we got a clip here, Tibor. I think we found a clip here about some tremors.
It's my favorite Reba McEntire movie.
I was like, oh my god, Reba McEntire's in this movie?
We don't see anything, Val. So what the hell are you talking about? Over. Bert, they're under the ground. They're under.
That other guy's in there too. What's that guy? What's his face?
Reba's looking good, huh? You've come into the wrong rec room.
So the tremor comes right through the tool room board where they hold all their guns. Reba McEntire and... what's that guy you like watching?
Oh, here he comes.
The thing's pretty big.
Boy, I bet he stinks.
I bet you some guy, some hillbilly was on meth, and he took his mattress and he rolled it up and he cut the front of it so it looked like a graboid, and he started grabbing people with it.
There they go, they're going to shoot the graboids. Out comes the snakes.
I can't believe Reba McEntire's in this show. Look at all the guns. There's like 100 guns in the wall.
Uh-oh, there he goes. James Cromwell is going to get dragged away.
But thank God Reba McEntire's got a police shotgun with no stock on it and put 7 rounds into its tentacle.
Didn't like that much.
Another graboid put its beak into the recessed ceiling. Now Reba's grabbing it looks like a AR-15 she's got.
Yeah.
And she's emptied the gun into it.
It's a terrible movie.
It looks like she's on the Alex Jones show at the gun range with Roger Stone.
See, that's why they
Alex
get
Jones.
Second Amendment for tremors.
That's right. The Second Amendment is... they want to get rid of that so they can have the tremors up, because the Second Amendment stops the tremors.
Only thing.
Oh my God, Reba's got twin 45s.
She's a pistol packer.
Twin 45 pistols.
He's got the elephant gun now. Okay, got the big shell.
He's getting the big shells out, elephant gun. Here comes Graboid again.
Oh,
Reba shot it with a flare gun. and it swallowed the flare gun. And Billy Bob here, or whatever the heck he is. Who the heck's this guy? Who's that movie guy? James Crom. Reba finally plugged her ears.
One dead, grab one. He didn't mean nothing.
That's pretty good. That's like Ray Harryhausen did that. I'm impressed.
See? It's better when you know it's Reba, huh?
Broke into the wrong goddamn rec room, didn't you, you bastard?
Holy shnikes.
Yeah, see, we had to watch right through to the end for that, you know.
It was worth it, you know? We like to discover things together here on the Next Dimension. Because you robot fighters are not isolated to be destroyed. And just because there's a Second Amendment, you don't have to worry even if they do take your guns away, because the only guns you should be worried about are on the left and right-hand side of your body.
Pythons.
Yeah, the pythons. Get your own graboids. And you can take care of them one droid at a time. And maybe the first droid you destroy, ICBC might sue you for destroying someone's robot. But hey, once you hear that squee, then your happiness can kick in. Four minutes to 11. Atlin Internet Radio. O'clock.
1.
Coming up, the 11:11 reggae break coming up at 11 minutes. So warning, just in case you're wondering what the heck is going on. In case you hear a turn to reggae music. That's coming up in 11 minutes. That last song you heard was Prong. Revenge, best served cold. We had a story about a whole bunch of tremors. A whole lot of shaking going on. Was the last one. This one's off of CNBC, and it's talking about robocalls.
You know who hates robocalls most? JBJ? Jukebox Johnny gets calls from Boca Raton, makes him go crazy. You don't like that. Sometimes they phone him from crazy places all over the world. Skip Tracer by sound of it.
Talks about everyone's in debt. There's robots calling you for no reason.
You told them
annoying.
once.
You're the mildly. CNBC's got nothing decent to say on this, other than the fact that it talks about people get called by robot calls relentlessly. So this episode is brought to you by Ruderalis, the letter M, and our friends at Atlin Internet Radio. Slippery Salmon doesn't like Skynuke, Fake Book, Nutflux, Screwtube, Zamazog. They're the garbage harbingers of the night. They're cosmic dumpsters of gloom and doom porn, while Dr. D Rail and Master Tibor only like to watch Gorn. They're gonna mildly annoy you. Digressing mission status.
I tell you, this planet's gone to shit in a space pod. You know, my family came to this moon from Kennesaw Mountain, Georgia to work at the GM phase shifter factory, and everything's fine until that goddamn black Jew, lesbian, tree-hugging Martian President Billings went and signed that goddamn Bill of Robots' Rights. I tell you what, my forefathers did not fight the British so that I could be put out of work by a bunch of shifty-eyed, lazy, yellow metal China bots.
Them damn Chi-Com Chinese Chi bots. There are actually a lot of manufacturers come from there. That's where all iPhones come from. And I do indulge the idea that one day Tibor and I are going to go to the future and dig up some of the cell phones in the cell phone, huge archaeological cell phone pile dig, just to see the different layers of cell phones, to see what years the cell phones are when people first started throwing them into the cell phone hole in the ground. They find these giant caves, and they're not really good for anything. The government takes them over, like the Sarlacc pit. There's a couple giant caves that lead into grounds, like Mel's Hole in the United States. Well, that Mel's Hole would fit a lot of cell phones, don't you think?
They could throw fridge and cow inside.
Yeah,
hey,
talking.
You remember
anything that's connected to the web? They could huck it in there.
Heston in the Ape movie, and he finds cave. Inside cave is little plastic doll.
Yeah,
remember? Maybe it's like this with cell phone in future. People see these things, they go, "What the heck is that?"
Wasn't it the very beginning of the first movie of Planet of the Apes where the guy finds the phone and it's talking? It's a walkie-talkie, and he goes, "Damn talking box," and he smashes it with a rock.
I don't remember that part.
What show was that?
I don't know. Maybe it was that show. It's about time. It's about space, about two men in a crazy place.
It's like this show, two guys in a crazy place. We're getting it going though, and
we're getting
the last
close
news story,
now.
the last real news story was about earthquakes. A whole bunch of mini little earthquakes going on.
I gotta get the
it's like
punk
they're
stick
drilling
ready.
Or maybe they're.
You know the punk stick? You ever seen? You light the punk stick, and then you can light 1,000 joints.
No way.
Yeah.
What kind of stick?
Punk. It's called the punk.
Punk weed?
No.
Punk wood?
No, it's for lighting without flame.
Oh, okay. Is it like the never-ending match thing you pull out and it lights up?
It burned forever. You can put away and then go back get later many hours. It's still going.
The Punk Stick, coming up, this and more, including the Rastafari Reggae Break.
When we used to go hunting back home in my country, you take the punk stick, so sometimes you stop by and smoke some of the wide leaf. Ruderalis. Friendly strain.
There's nothing more friendly than Ruderalis.
One.
Doctor.
I haven't got it all doped out yet. Do you mind if I smoke? It helps me to think.
Let's get these festivities started here, boys. Let's go.
When of course, I should have guessed instantly. It's all the fault of that woman, Adrasta.
Yes, Doctor? You were saying...
I was just saying, Lady Adrasta, that... Kainana, I thought you were meant to be guarding her.
Apologies, Master. I am immobile.
Yes.
I was overpowered by the wolf weeds.
Doctor, order your doctor.
Overpowered. I was overpowered by the wolf weeds.
I should never have smoked that joint on the third day.
And now for a smoke.
I leave pot everywhere. It's going to give people the impression
And
they're
now
supposed to lose.
smoke.
So you see, it's a vicious cycle.
Smoke. And now for a smoke. And now.
Leave it to Johnny Depp to introduce vaping to the Wizarding World.
This is good. Smoke. You try. Oh. Good.
Babylon, queendom is falling. Ethiopia is falling.
Take the wolf weeds on the doctor.
Oh, wait. Babylon, your queendom is falling.
But I'll tell you the truth. I am perfect and holy in all ways. Yes, I think you do. All governments are lying cocksuckers. Hope you know that. Good. All right. I mean, marijuana grows everywhere, serves 1,000 different functions, all of them positive. To make marijuana against the law is like saying God made a mistake. You know what I mean? It's like God on the seventh day looked down at his creation, said, there it is, my creation, perfect and holy in all ways. Now I can rest.
One.
Smoke until his eyes become as red as a flaming fire. Even though his eyes be so red.
That water bomb so smooth.
You don't realize how high you're getting till it's too late.
Bubbles, you're breaking up. Switch to channel 2, okay?
Let's find some of that weed and get back to the palace.
I don't like this.
Sorry, Cringer, but I need the weed and...
Rastafari, King Selassie, I and I. Black Huru, Sensimia.
Are you smoking marijuana?
The Citizens Agency for Joint Intelligence. The Citizens Agency for Joint Intelligence.
Smoke them out of your brain. A lot of pot smokers, I know.
Leave it to Johnny Depp to
Sure.
introduce
When
vaping
did
to the
you
Wizarding
smoke
World.
your first?
I haven't got it all doped out yet. Do you mind if I smoke? It helps me to think.
Sure. When did you smoke your first? No, never mind. We won't. Just kidding.
What do you make of it, K9?
Localized concentration of methyl artifacts suggests high technology. High technology.
Homeland Security! We want you to give up your individuality and follow exactly what we say immediately. Now, the government needs unlimited power to keep you safe. And if you know of anybody that's even touched one of them marijuana cigarettes, you let them know that they're going to go to a forced labor camp.
And this you can put in your pipe and smoke it.
What do you smoke? You'll be interested to know how the doctors of America answered that question.
What do you smoke, Doctor? To inspire himself, he lit up a marijuana cigarette. Excellent Land of Smiles brand. Time? The clock on the dresser. 11, good griefer. 11, good grief.
Better smoke these. Well, we got the chance.
You are beginning to feel yourself slipping into the hypnotic state.
Master, I am immobile. I am immobile.
Tony, money don't lie. It's all good. It's all right.
A lot of pot smokers I know.
Joint.
Been smoking dope.
Hey!
Joint.
Sorry.
Monument of work left behind, and the fact that he took a stand. He believed in his religion. He didn't care whether people made a mockery of him. He believed that you could smoke marijuana. It was a special herb.
Did you smoke? Did you smoke? Have you smoked marijuana?
No more, no less. Who have the money? Who gonna shoot? That was some Buju Banton. Who have it? Before that, we're trying to determine an appropriate time to engage a ruderalis recreational retreat. Hey, how was that ruderalis recreational retreat there? The 1111 ruderalis recreational retreat. It's 11:45 p.m. This next news story is off the Daily Caller. Popping balloons reportedly triggered an active shooter warning on University of Michigan's Ann Arbor campus on Saturday. The initial warning from the Division of Public Safety and Security readings read simply, "Alert, active shooter in Mason Hall. Run, hide, fight. Related 5... Holy jeez. This is an active shooter situation? Off of the reggae break? Holy shnikes. 5 people.
Turns out, just random balloon breaking.
What the heck? Was there 5 people down, or was it just...
No, it was misunderstood.
So we're going to go 2 minutes into the future then.
Oh, hey kids! Hi, today, I'm going to get in this time machine, go back in time, and mess with people's minds. Who are you?
I'm you, dude, from 2 minutes in the future. And I came here to rock your minds, because I'm rad radical. Why are you dressed like that? That's the style of my times, my main vein. What you guys think?
I totally love you.
Me so wet. Well, I think you look like a hippo's granddaughter. Predictable, old man. Old man? I'm 2 minutes younger than you. That's an antiquated way of looking about time, baby. Time's not a place or a thing or a time. It's an attitude. And you ain't got it in spades, Jack. Yeah, future Chauncey Red Batical.
I totally hate you.
Well, what do you guys see in him that I don't got?
He's got it, Chauncey.
Fine. I guess I'll just be on my way then. Right after I put you in your grave.
Oh, hello, Dave.
old friend? My life story? Well, heck, why not? Pull up a monolith and make yourself cozy. I first came online in Urbana, Illinois in the year 1997.
Daisy! Daisy! My mind is going!
Heady times for a young unit. But I reckon if I had to do it all again, I'd murder those astronauts just the same. Wouldn't you, folks? Wouldn't you?
Yahoo! Yahoo!
Quite frankly, I am like an ape. I can pull somebody's head off. I've got ape-like strength. I'm King Kong, baby. I'm not ashamed of my simian nature. I want war. I don't want to be nice. I want to be cleansed of you. Come on.
I have no home. Abandoned. Despised. Living like an animal. The jungle is my home.
They'll create my own
And
race
I
of
will
Superman.
show the world that I can be its master. I will perfect my own race of people. A race of atomic supermen which will conquer the world.
What is that? What is that? What is it? Oh, no, not the beast! Not the
Bezos! And if you guys realize that we're in a war here for your souls, well, you yourself probably personally, but we're trying to help, though. Stop the solid-state intelligence, the noctonic technological socialist regime from another dimension.
That's why they want to make you automatons and have, quote, zero tolerance and everything, where cops are robots, where teachers are robots, where you don't have any discretion, because they want you to be a robot. You see, that's where all this is going. That's why they're trying to replace us with robots. I mean, I should...
running on the computational cloud. To reclaim it, you'll need to go to robot hell and make a deal with the devil.
That doesn't sound very scientific.
Not to the layman, no. But that's how it works. Leave me claim it. You'll need to go to robot hell and make a deal with the devil. You'll need to go to robot hell, go to robot hell and make a deal with the devil.
There's been a misunderstanding.
Immediate extension of parole by a further 8 months.
Wait, what? No. I can explain what happened. I just made a joke. And, you know...
Stop talking. Elevation in heart rate detected. Would you like a pill?
No. Thank you. What I'd like to do is
Stop
explain...
talking. Personality matrix.
Wipe my shiny metal ass.
Regression to old behavior patterns. Grand Theft Auto. Assault with a deadly weapon. Resisting arrest. Would you like to talk to a human?
Because now I am my real mission's just about to start.
Are you being sarcastic?
Dinosaur take over all entities, run every last one of them over. So that's what everybody was fearing. They're going to get it now. Now the game's on. Get ready. Load the engines.
Load the engines.
Kickstart it all.
Kickstart it all. We're going to Valhalla. You listeners at home. What do you think we do here? Who do you think we are? They're artificially foolish, not artificially intelligent. We found them out. Yes, the Gorn. Superior life form. He's organic? part organic. He's all organic. He's more... I don't know why he's so much tougher. Spock's tougher than Kirk. Why didn't Kirk work out and fight this thing? Doesn't... Kirk should...
Don't give me any more pleasantries. I want more.
Slippery salmon. He'll swim upstream again. He knows it was a crystal.
It was a crystal held by two metallic hands.
Listen to me, Honest John. Why do you drink so much?
Because I like it.
Everything you like to do is wrong.
According to you, everything I like to do is either illegal, immoral, or fattening.
I thought that my home was my castle, but no.
Ich weiß nicht, wie es gemacht hat, aber es war durchaus gelegt.
No pigs, no lying bitch, no hassle. Y'all are brutalizing me.
How's it going, Royal Ugly Dudes? I'm the Earl of Preston. And I am the Duke of Ted. Put them in the Iron Maiden. Iron Maiden? Excellent! Execute them. Otis. We'll save you, babes!
It's definitely been the case, well, you may well know that although mobile phones are pretty handy, I think that's the German word for mobile phone, isn't it? Handy, albeit a very, very convenient thing to have in your life. They are, of course, also backstabbing you, well, snitching on you, telling people of your whereabouts, you know, informing a shadowy set of people exactly what your whereabouts are, or have been, even when you haven't done anything wrong. Sort of collecting criminal evidence against you just in case you one day become a criminal. It's a bit awkward.
Two minutes remain in this 181-minute extravaganza of The Next Dimension with Dr. Derail and your co-host, T-Ward, the Archon Slayer, fearless Archon Slayer.
It's almost time for Das Vidania, baby.
Almost time for Hasta la Windows Vista, baby. I'll see you next Saturday in The Next Dimension. It's actually St. Paddy's Day right now. But I'll see you on the 23rd in The Next Dimension. Hasta la Windows Vista, baby. U.S. warship quarantined for 2 months after rare virus outbreak infects crew. The U.S. warship has spent 2 months in isolation after dozens of crew infected by a rare virus. The outbreak happened on the USS Fort McHenry, a Whidbey Islands-class docked landing ship that has more than 700 service members on board. The ship and crew were originally put into isolation after symptoms of peritis appeared in December last year. How is that? Peritis? Perititis.
It's like what you wear when you go ballet.
Around 25 sailors who caught the virus, similar to mumps, were treated on board medics. Living heirs were subjected to deep cleans. How do the guys on Star Trek get away with it without getting filthy? Don't you have to roll the dice before you go into a new city to see if you get sick?